Hello everybody, welcome to another flight. This will be a quick ILS tutorial, but in the Cessna Citation Longitude. If you really like the Series Vision Jet, then I really think this will be your next step up. It's a lot like the Series Vision Jet, except in flying characteristics. Otherwise, pretty close. Let's go ahead and jump in. Oh, here we are, cold and dark. Let's show you how to turn on the aircraft. Shift 7. I'm going to turn all these switches to on, including batteries 1 and 2. Bus tie, make sure it's open. Main connection is on. Electrical connection normal. Interior electric bus normal. Right connection normal. Right main on. Let's go up here. We're going to turn emergency lights. Armed. Now let's turn on the recognition lights. That's just a test it does. Recognition lights are equivalent to like beacon lights. That's just to let everybody know we're going to turn on the aircraft. I like to make the monitors a little bit brighter. Now to turn on the aircraft, there's two ways. You can use external power, which sometimes doesn't work for this aircraft. So instead, Shift 5. We're going to go down to the APU, turn it on, and switch to start. Hold it for a second, and let go. Shift 1. Right down here, just see it running up. Now it's going to take a while to run up and get all the systems going. So while we wait for that, we'll go ahead and set up the aircraft and the flight plan. I'm going to go ahead and set up 1-notch takeoff flaps. Anyway, you want to make sure that reaches 100%, but even after that, you have to wait for it to warm up. You'll hear the run up when it's actually ready. Let's go ahead and get weight and fuel balance, takeoff, FBO sync, next, initialize. Next will be the flight plan. Let's go ahead and have a look. See what we can get here. It's already given us a flight plan. Don't worry about the departure procedure, it's just the approach procedure. I'm going to do an ILS if I can. See what I want to use. I'm going to direct to hasty. You can see it's going to be a very short flight. Let's go ahead and change procedure. Create VFR. Now one thing we need to do here, come down to the arrival airport, click information, charts, approach. There it is, ILS or localizer 30 left. Now we really just need to know the ILS frequency, 110.3. And we can type that in here, transfer it, and just enable navigation. That's set up there, and we know we need to be at 3,000 feet to intercept the glide slope to take us down to the runway. Just need to know that. Other two things I like to do, go to nav log, start the stopwatch, so we can speed up, slow down the sim rate, and then make sure we're in real time. And I make sure it's a VFR flight. This is free flight mode. Now I don't know what I'm going to be here. I'm going to put 1500, but VFR flight, we can change it. Let's go ahead and send to ATC and avionics. Let's go ahead and take a look at our flight plan. Okay, now we know the approach. We need to be at 7,000 at hasty. So I'm just going to be around 10,000, so I'm not too far above that. I'm going to go ahead and set up that now in navigation and autopilot suite. Select an altitude for 10,000 feet, and you want to right click it if you want to change it from hundreds of feet to thousands of feet. I've changed it by right clicking it to bring it back to exactly 10,000. Click flight level change, and again, like always, the heading bug, little blue dot here to line up with the GPS. Then click heading bug. Now the pilot suite is set up. Also, I'd like to show you here, I'm going to switch the speed mode to manual, and I'm going to set it to 250. Now you have to toggle a key, combine the key to enable and disable it. You can do that in settings, under controls, then type in auto throttle and search. It'll come up, and you can bind any key you want. Okay, everything looks run up. Let's finish this up though. You go back, takeoff data, weather, Load meteorological data. Use the onboard RAT. It's -10. And takeoff data. Accept takeoff speeds. Initiate. I believe we did set up 1-notch flaps. We did, so we didn't get a warning. Otherwise, we'd get a warning. And I want to come over here, and I'm going to set up pitot heat on and engine anti-ice. I will come down here. Now that our APU is all run up, click Run, and hold this down. Let's turn to a different color. Let's check to make sure it's running up. Click the IGN, the N2, ignition start. We'll wait till it's fully run up. And we'll go ahead and turn on the second engine. Engine run. Hold this down. Look for the run up. We'll see if the N2 gets to around 60% for a full run up. Once it's fully run up, we'll turn off the APU. Both engines are fully run up. Let's come down here. Turn off the APU. Shift 7. Turn the APU generator off. That's taken care of now. And the autopilot was set up. Flight level change and heading bug are enabled. And we're set at 250 knots for autopilot. For auto throttle, when we set that up, just go ahead and take the parking brake off. Full throttle. I have full realism enabled, so the plane might be pushed around a bit. Everything looks good in the green. Airspeed's alive. V1, rotate. Positive rake, you're up. Above 108 knots, flaps up. So I'm going to get a little bit of altitude. 2,000 feet. Now I'm going to set autopilot. I'm going to go ahead and set auto throttle. You can see its auto throttle has been enabled here. It's in climb mode. This has been set to 250. Now we're going to tweak the heading bug. Tweaking the heading bug here to intercept the FMS line or GPS line. You want this little blue dot here to line up with this line here or intercept it. You'll be able to see that here in a minute. You can see the plane turning towards the FMS line. See the heading bug is active. We're going to turn on the navigation mode. The navigation mode is on standby. As we get close enough to the FMS line, it'll switch over from heading to FMS all by itself, and we don't have to do anything else. We're already at 10,000 feet. Let's look at the flight plan. Just before the runway, we need to be at 3,000 feet. So let's go ahead and set up our VNAV. We'll make this 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet. Click vertical navigation mode. Make sure it's armed. And you'll be able to see that here. VPath is armed. And you see we got close enough to the FMS line that it switched over all by itself. FMS line is the GPS line. Now what we need to do, since we'll be coming up quickly on our ILS transition, we'll go ahead and come back down here, scroll up, and since we have no other waypoints, and we're going straight to our ILS transition waypoint, click approach, click activate approach. Then you'll be able to see the localizer line here. And that line is basically this line. I believe we've already reached our top of descent because we're already starting to come down. Too bad I didn't capture that for you. That's good that we made it in time. Again, here's the localized line starting to come in. What that line is will be this line right here. When we get just past this transition, we'll click approach, or just before it, click approach, and hopefully capture the localizer. This should switch over automatically to localizer. As we're coming down, you can see here we're coming down. It'll stop at all the flight restrictions. 7,000 at Hasty, 6,000 at Pinky, 5,000 at Pigsy, 4,000 at AA Bez, and 3,000 at Narco. Aren't those some cool waypoint names? I'm going to go ahead and click approach. Let's see if it switches over. Localizer is on standby, so is the glide slope. You see that here in white. And here's our glide slope right here. Since we're still coming down, we're not going to intercept it just yet. Pinky, we need to be at 6,000 feet. So that's what the plane is doing. We could click altitude hold mode, and that will hold the altitude just to intercept the glide slope since we're under it. It's above us. Here we are. Here it is. But we'll just let the plane do what it wants to do for right now. We can always change it later. I'm going to go ahead and take the speed back a bit. I'm going to take it back to 220. And the reason why, I'll show you here. First notch flaps, we need to be below 250 knots. Second notch flaps, you need to be below 230 knots. So if I want to do that, I set up 220 knots. Since we're below 250 knots, I'm going to put the gear down and put in one notch flaps. Now we're below 230 knots. I'm going to put in second notch flaps. I'm going to take speed all the way back to 200. Now for third notch flaps, we need to be below 180 knots. Okay, we have a problem here. The Garmin went off and just came back on again. Pull back the speed again to around 170 knots, maybe 160. We've captured the localizer. Glide slope is still above us. That's okay, because we will intercept it. We're below 180 knots, as you can see here. Go ahead and put in full notch flaps. Full flaps enabled. You can see that here also. Full flaps enabled. Our landing speed will be around 115 knots. I'm going to bring it back to 120 knots, just slow down the aircraft. You want to do that well before the runway to make sure it comes down in time. You can see here this little green dot. That'll be our landing speed. I'd like to make it a little bit higher, so around 120 knots. And I like to keep the auto throttle enabled until just over the runway. Then disable the auto throttle, pull my accelerator all the way out, and let the plane glide in. But first, getting as close to the runway as I can. Go ahead and put up to 225. The plane will sometimes slow down a little bit too much. Still following the glide slope. Okay, now the glide slope has been enabled. Now we're coming down. This will be Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport that we're landing at. The runway is more than big enough. Again, it's switched over to the localizer and the glide slope. Glide slope is taking us down to the runway all by itself. The plane will automatically follow that down to the runway. Autopilot still enabled. Autopilot, auto throttle. When we get close enough, we'll take out the autopilot, but leave the auto throttle on again until I'm just over the runway. Then I'll disable auto throttle and take out the speed all the way. But we're getting close enough now. I'm going to take off the autopilot, keeping the auto throttle on. We're a little low. I'd like to be a little bit lower. Now again, we have the PAPIs. We're right on the glide slope. We can follow the glide slope down if we wanted to. A little bit low. And again, I do like to be a little bit lower than the actual glide slope. You don't want to do any sharp movements with this plane. You want to try to just feel it, just pepper it in. They were a little high. Let's come down a little bit. Now we're following the PAPIs, no longer following the glide slope. Get ready to disengage auto throttle. Disengage auto throttle. Take your speed all the way back. Pull the nose up. There we go. Not a bad landing. Let's go ahead and clear the runway. Normally you want to stop just after this line here. Contact ground. request taxi to parking. Well, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to enable the parking brake, show you how to shut down the aircraft. Really easy to do. Let's go ahead and stop both engines. Shift 9. Turn everything off. Emergency lights off. Switch everything to off. If you want to, you can make sure these are off as well, even though they'll automatically be off when you turn off the aircraft. Okay, that's how you do an ILS flight. Cold and dark start and stop and shutdown. Take a look at this. One thing I can do is I can look at my character, by the way. Anyway, if you like this video, thinking about giving a like, subscribing. Still a relatively new channel. I need all the help I can get. But if not, hey, it's all love. Take care. We'll see you in the next one.